Hi, welcome back to Painting in the Shed with me, Oliver Pengilly. I just want to say thank you for watching the other one, and if you haven't, why don't you click back and find the first one. This is the second one. I was talking to my friend Jim. Thanks Jim for your last comment on the other video. I look forward to the comment on this video. And he said, why don't you have a go at doing some figures, because he likes to know how to do very small figures, very simple sort of silhouetted shapes of human beings. Gosh, it's cold in here. I'm going to work on top of this acrylic painting with oils again. I think I like using oils at the moment. I'm just going through an oil paint phase. I hope that's okay. If you want to see more acrylic stuff, just let me know and I'll do some acrylic ones. I forgot to mention before in the last video, sorry it's freezing, on the last video, you can buy the paintings I'm doing, by the way, and I'll take whatever offer. Well, I won't take whatever offer. A lot of money's good, but a small amount's fine. If you, yeah. I think I might do a giveaway, a free giveaway at some point. If I get a lot of people watching these, I might sort of select people at random and give them free prints or something. So it's worth subscribing and watching these. That's a bit better. Yeah, I can paint now. Here we are with my voiceover. These are the colours. You can pause that if you missed it. So this is the acrylic painting underneath, and now I'm actually going to start adding oil paint on top. I'm using white and yellow ochre. Those are the two main colours. I'm going to put an angel here behind this tree. So I'll start off with using a sort of a not a pointed, quite a flat bristle brush, and just adding the white on there very softly, only a small amount of paint. That's the best way to do it, really. Just add a small amount and just keep adding on top of that if you want it to be stronger. So here I am rubbing in where I want the top of the wings coming in. I roughly know where the figure's going to be, so I'm aiming the wings down towards that point. So this is yellow ochre again. I'm going in between. I often go to the background, then to the foreground. You know, I keep going back and forward between the two things. So here I'm adding the yellow ochre in between the wings, sort of blending into the wings a little bit as well. You want them to sort of fade off as they go off to the side of the painting. But they get brighter and lighter as you get towards the centre, so you start adding a little bit more white with the mixture. So here I am just adding the finer parts of the wings. I mean, the last few parts of the wings I'll use a smaller brush. Here I'm using burnt umber, probably a little bit of burnt sienna as well, just to go over the acrylic tree. Just to add, there it is, it's burnt umber. I'm sort of going over the tree to make it stronger, because I want everything to sort of blend together. I want the whole painting to sort of blend. You can do this with acrylic, but you have to be really quick because it dries so fast. But I'll show you that in another episode. Here I am with yellow ochre, yeah. A little bit of burnt sienna, and little bits of burnt umber. It just depends what area of the painting you're working on. Here I'm using the lemon yellow. I use that just right near the centre where the bright light is, so at the top here and at the bottom as well. Here, burnt sienna coming in, rubbing that in around the edges. You kind of want the edges of the paint to be darker, just so it draws your eye into the centre of the painting. Here I'm adding more yellow ochre and white to the wings, because I lost them a little bit, so bringing them back again. So here I'm using the small brush, just to do the figure, and I'll show you lots of different figures in a minute, how to do them, but start off with the head, where I want the head to be, and the shoulders are about 3 times the width of the head. Once I get that bit right, I can just work my way down the body. I've done a lot of drawings of figures, so I kind of know roughly how long they should be and stuff like that, which is something you can learn. Here I am using the small brush again, just with the white, adding the wings. And because it's oil paint, it's all still wet, so it's all blending in together, so you get a nice soft tones. Here's the fan brush with the burnt sienna and probably a touch of burnt umber in there as well. And I use the same brush for the leaves sometimes in trees. It's quite a good brush, this. If you get a nice beaten up old one, it kind of spreads, and you want some sort of, you don't want a sort of a pattern forming. That's the only thing you don't want. So you kind of use the brush and keep turning it and twisting it so you get different patterns. Here I am just going over the wings again. Now I'm going over the rest of the painting with a slightly thicker layer of burnt umber and burnt sienna, a little bit yellow ochre as well. Just using the 3 browns. Again, I'm darkening the edges of the painting. I want shadows coming from the tree. You know, sometimes you might play around with the light. You might think, where's the light coming from? Will it burst through the tree? Will it cause a shadow on the tree? You know, down here I'm adding light first, and then I'll probably go back with the dark on top of that. This is just yellow ochre and white. I mean, the only time I use the ultramarine blue is to get the browns really dark. So if I want a really dark brown, I'll add a little bit of the ultramarine blue. but the rest of the time it's just the 3 browns and the white really. Here I am adding the burnt umber around the edges of the painting, trying to blend that into the wings. You might have to go back with the wings and lighten them again. I'm using the big brush again, just to go over it and just blend all the areas together. The thing about painting, you want everything to be complementing each other. You want everything to be sort of involved with each other. So you kind of use that big brush to blend some of the colours into the rest of the painting, you know. So this is a figure. I start off with the head again. I'm showing you another little figure here, and I work my way down to where the elbows would be and where the waist would be, and then the rest of it I kind of filter off into nothing really, because if the person's standing at an angle, you'll only see one leg. The other leg might be in front of that one, so you don't really need to try and do all the legs and all the arms and all the hands. This is a shadow. This is just burnt umber, probably a little bit of ultramarine blue as well to get that really dark colour. And if you're clever enough to add a little bit of white onto the figure, it's not necessary, but it just pops it out a little bit. Now I went over this whole painting a little bit too much with oil paint. I wasn't really happy with it, so I wanted that light to come back in again. It looked a bit dull, so I started adding paint thinners here, and this is how I finished off. Oh yeah, well, it sometimes happens when you buy nice expensive brushes. And this is the finished thing, so I used the paint thinners to kind of get the acrylic paint to come through. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So this is a figure, you know, the head is roughly 3 times the width of the shoulders, and then you work your way down the body. This is really just a rough idea. You can find lots of body, you know, proportions on the internet if you just Google it, and the head fits in 8 times into the height of the whole figure, which is quite surprising actually. A lot of people make the mistake of making the head too big. Actually, the head's relatively small, you see, so when you make it smaller and smaller, you have to less and less detail. You can get away with a lot more. So if you want to get away with less detail, do the figures smaller. There you go, 2 figures holding hands. Thanks for watching, we're all done. Please leave a comment below if you want me to paint anything different, like next time you want me to show you how to do certain things. But before we go, I'd just like to again ask my friend Jim Pody what he thinks of this painting.
Hello, my name's Jim. I'm just having another look at one of Ollie's paintings. I've said before there's a lot of meaning in his paintings, and this one's no different. I quite like the contrast between the light and dark areas in this painting. Sort of reminds me of when I was driving home from work and someone had set a car on fire in a car park. And I think the fuel tank must have just gone up because there was a huge intensity about the fire. Yeah, so actually this probably is quite a sinister painting really, so yeah, hopefully we'll have something a bit more light-hearted for us next time.
Thanks, Jim. Anyway, Jim Pody's Guide did the music for all these videos, in case you didn't know. Hopefully he'll release a CD at some point, because it's amazing. I love listening to his music in here. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.